Hey, this is Walter Jones.
This is Austin St. John.
And you're listening to
Ranger Danger.
Go, go, Ranger Danger. Woo. Go, go, Ranger Danger. Woo. Go, go, Ranger Danger. Matt and Michael's Ranger Danger.
Welcome once again to Mighty Morphin Ranger Danger. This is the podcast where we ride ourselves over the fields and make all of our animal deals. And our wise men don't know how it feels to be as thick as a brick. My name's Matt.
I think you've missed an opportunity here.
Michael's here as well.
I feel like this entire gimmick has basically been building up to this.
Yep.
And you've fucked it up.
What? The episode title, we're going to be watching episode 139 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers today. It's called Another Brick in the Wall.
Yeah.
So I went with Jethro Tull. what are you saying?
I just am saying that maybe there's a more suitable song about bricks in walls. Maybe a song called The Wall. That has the words, another brick in the wall, in it.
I don't know why you'd make a song about construction.
I feel like this episode was named after a song, and this was your one chance to just really power through, and you've just...
I can't think of any songs that are about bricklaying.
Okay, well, all right. That's fine. We don't do that either.
No,
we watch Power Rangers.
Yeah, we're going to watch that episode I just mentioned.
Yeah.
I will say, though, that we do have a website. That's www.rangedangerpodcast.com. Emails, rangedangerpodcast@gmail.com. We're at RangerDcast on Twitter. We're on Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, TuneIn, Google+. And I think that's it. Plus, we have a shop. rangerdangerpodcast.com/shop is where you can buy things and stuff. Michael?
Yeah.
Before we watch the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers episode, Another Brick in the Wall.
Yeah.
Is there something you'd like to talk about?
There are two things I'd like to talk about this week, Matt. That will be slightly old news by the time people hear this, because we're recording a little in advance, but are breaking news right now.
Beep, 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 beep,
Oil prices. It's still not a joke, Tim.
It's becoming more of a joke.
I'm going to make him come down here and explain himself later. All right, so Ninja Steel logo.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
I said to you earlier this week, Michael, that I think it's a better logo than the movie logo.
I mean, I don't know that I disagree. It's definitely a more classically Power Rangers logo.
I tell you what, when I look to a logo, there's one thing I want to see, and that's stars.
Yep.
And this logo
It's got stars.
has me covered on two fronts.
Yeah, not just regular stars.
No, it has ninja stars as well as suns.
By the way, in the tweet that when Power Rangers unveiled this logo, they did use the term ninja throwing stars.
Yes.
Just call them shurikens. Guys. Just
much better name.
Kids who watch Power
Faster,
Rangers
more
are
efficient.
fine with weird Japanese shit.
Yes.
You know that as an objective fact because your show is 50% weird Japanese shit.
And look, if young kids don't know about shurikens yet, then it's your duty to teach them.
It's important that they learn.
Yep.
You don't want them to learn when there's one at their face.
That's right. You got to be able to identify them on sight. Not be like, ooh, that's a nice shiny disc with pointy edges. Got to be like, shit, it's a shuriken. It's a deck.
Especially because I think, like, I don't know if you know, collectible shuriken are the gimmick of the next season.
Yep.
So I don't know how much of that will make it into the Power Rangers, but presumably some of it at least. If they keep calling them collectible ninja throwing stars, I'm going to get sick of it very quickly.
It's just a lot to say.
It is.
Man, does this mean we're going to have kids collecting shurikens now?
I hope so.
Do you, though?
They'll be plastic and probably have foam edges or something.
Yeah, the official ones will be. All right, cool.
All right. I just wanted to kind of comment on, it's interesting to see it, A, so early.
Yep.
And B, kind of as a reveal. Like, IGN did a thing where they were like, tomorrow we're going to release the Power Rangers logo. It's really like, compared to previous seasons of Power Rangers really has come back.
Yeah, Power Rangers is a thing now?
Yeah. And it wasn't even when we started this podcast.
No.
Which is really interesting.
Yeah. We're very prescient.
Yeah.
We got onto that wave at the right time. Now it's a tidal wave, and we're going to end up smashed on the beach.
Yeah. We're going to be drowned by the tidal wave.
Yep. All right.
So the Dino Charge cast were unveiled at Power Morphicon 2 years ago.
Yep.
I would imagine that they may do the same thing here.
That would make a lot of sense.
But again, given what we're seeing with Power Rangers becoming a thing, maybe like Entertainment Weekly will do it or something. You know what I mean?
Wow, yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
You know, it's...
Given how much time those major publications spend talking about, like, Captain America these days,
Yep.
it's suddenly a lot less silly to think about.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
It really is.
Totally.
So, who knows? It's also a bit weird. Like, Dino Supercharge is still going.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going right now.
Yep.
But when they unveil the cast, it probably will still be airing. It takes a bit of the wind out of that show's sails.
Yeah, it does. I think it's a bit like, you know, when you... In Doctor Who,
Yep.
when you're playing a companion or you're playing the current Doctor,
Yep.
and the next Doctor gets announced,
Yeah.
and you suddenly become like a lame duck Doctor in
Yeah.
that instance, where you're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kind of riding out the gap until the next person arrives.
Yeah.
And I don't envy anyone in that position.
No.
It's kind of shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's the way it is these days, I
That's right.
guess. I don't really know why, but
I think it's because everything has to be news now.
yeah.
You can't just, like, have a big moment of a show and have people talk about it afterwards. I understand why, because doing that gets you more attention and you make more money.
Yes.
Doesn't make it not shitty,
Yeah.
is my position. Capitalism is the problem, as we've often said on this show.
Have we?
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I've definitely thought it occasionally, but I don't know that we've ever come down officially on the side
No,
of
we
communism.
at least 2 times. I think some listeners will back us up on this.
Okay, I'm sure. Look, I'm sure we'll have emails. Thank you, by the way, to everyone who emailed us telling us about lay-by in America.
Yeah,
they
or
call it
layaways.
layaway. Dumb.
Yeah, but it kind of rhymes.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it could be the song of like the name of like an early 1980s song.
Did you know they call roundabouts traffic circles?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
What are we going to call it? I guess it's a circle in the traffic. So traffic circles. Dumb. You got a dumb country and you need to fix some of your shit.
It's like if you called biscuits like crunchy circles.
Just food circles.
Food circles. It's such a literal interpretation.
All right, Matt. The second thing I want to talk about this week.
Yep.
Lionsgate.
Yes.
Had
the
a-
Gate of Lions. Is that not their tagline?
I mean, I hope it is. I really do. But that's not...
It's not irrelevant to this
Yeah,
conversation.
that's not what I wanted to talk about specifically. They had one of their investor calls recently in which, I guess, some sort of CEO or head of Lionsgate somehow.
Speaking of the weird ways things get announced as news these days.
Yeah.
Sorry.
People
go on.
just call up and listen to investor calls of film companies just to hear any exciting things.
Yep.
And one of those exciting things is the CEO of Lionsgate saying that they would like to make 5, 6, or 7 Power Rangers movies.
Yep.
Now, this was widely reported as Lionsgate plans 7 Power Rangers movies.
It was reported like, we've got the scripts for all 7 films locked down.
Yeah, like there's a poster somewhere in someone's office that's got titles and casts and...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it will shock anyone to learn that a guy who runs a company that makes movies would like one of his movies to do so well that they can make 7 of them.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
And also people reported it like they're going to make a series of 7 and then stop.
Yes.
It's like, no, they're going to keep making these films as long as they're making a lot of money.
Like, they've got not a lot of artistic integrity,
Yeah.
but enough to know that 7 is too many.
Yeah.
So 8 is unacceptable.
They're way too far, 8.
Yeah.
7 is the new trilogy.
I've always said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, look, I guess, you know, just they're probably not going to make 7 of them. I mean, they might make $1 billion and they
They're
might
making
make
like
7 of them.
so many of these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies.
They've made 2.
Yeah, but it feels like they've made 2 in like 3 months. So at this rate, we're going to have 7 very soon.
It does feel like they've made that second one really quickly, doesn't it?
Very quickly. And now they're making the 5th Transformers film.
Transfivemers.
Yeah, it's called The Last Night, despite the fact that it's the start of a new trilogy or something. Like, what is the world?
How can 5 be the start of a new trilogy?
Yeah.
And they're going to make 1, 2, 3 is for the Tokyo Drift of Transformers movies? Is that what's happening?
Oh, man, I haven't seen it. I can't say. I suspect not.
I mean, look, we live in a world where they've made, or are planning to make, 10 Fast and Furious movies.
And that might not be enough.
Yeah, over 2 decades.
Yep.
So, I mean, God, 7 Power Rangers movies sounds so much less out of the question than it has at any other point in history.
We're living in a glorious golden age where
Or a horrifying nightmare.
next year they could announce that they're going to do like a G.I. Joe Fast and the Furious crossover film, and it would be
Okay, no, I'm
entirely
on board with that.
So am I.
That's great. Get the Transformers in there as well.
Yeah.
You're telling me you don't want to see Vin Diesel drive a truck that turns into a robot that fights Cobra Commander?
That's all I want.
Guys, come on. You could stop making movies at that point.
And that's like actually not impossible in this day
It
and
really
age.
isn't.
In an age of like the Men in Black 22 Jump Street crossover, like
Yep.
yeah, anything could happen now.
So I guess what we're saying is they probably won't make 7 Power Rangers movies, but also who fucking knows?
Who knows is the
Who
official
knows?
position of this podcast. The world is a wondrous thing.
I do hope this one does well.
Yep.
Everyone involved seems to be... There were some set photos that leaked during the week. Those suits, it grew on me when I saw one in a set photo.
Yeah. They're bright.
Yeah.
Which is more than I can say for any of the DC heroes. You know
Yeah,
what
I mean, they're not like all black with a red line across them, and they'd be like, yeah, I'm the red Power Ranger.
Yeah, then that was the risk, right? They
Yeah.
came out looking like that new RoboCop.
Or that first G.I. Joe movie.
Oh, yeah. Man, what even happened there?
Well, I mean, we know what happened. Hollywood happened.
Bad things.
Bad things happened.
That was, like, can you imagine how dumb those guys must feel now? When they realise, oh, we could have just made a G.I. Joe film and people would have loved it. Because people just like those films.
It's surprising, not to go on too long a tangent, it's surprising the properties from the 80s that they still haven't touched.
Yeah. Where's Thundercats?
He-Man.
Yep.
Is it just things with cat people? Is that just...
I think that's the line.
Right. Is it because of furries?
There's a reason that Tigra wasn't in Age of Ultron. That's all I'm saying.
Is it because she's kind of a terrible character?
You can't say that about Tigra.
Why not?
Because all those Tigra fans will come at you.
Yeah, but
You'll
both
feel
of-
very uncomfortable.
Both of them, and they just want to fuck the cat lady, so I'm perfectly willing to judge them.
Oh, look. Tigra might have had some character development in that like Jeff Johns era that I'm not going to touch because I'm done with Jeff Johns for a little bit. Can we talk about DC Rebirth, number 1?
I mean, I guess, do you have a slightly cooled take? Because this will come out like 3 weeks after DC Rebirth number 1.
No, it'll never be called.
Okay. Give us your hot take then, right?
Okay, my hot take on DC Rebirth is I can't say what I said to you on Facebook because that's probably a step too far to bring into the public realm. But I will say that it's very impressive that they made a comic book about how superheroes have been too dark and depressing for too long. It's time for like hope and optimism to return to the world.
Which is a statement that Matt and I are on record as agreeing with.
Absolutely.
We've got 140 hours of this podcast where we've said that at least 12 times.
Yes. The only problem is that the people making these grand statements are the people responsible directly and enthusiastically for all of the grim, dark bullshit that's happened in the past 5
It's
to
like
10
being
years.
mugged by the police commissioner.
It really is.
Matt, do you have a hot
Well, no, I think it's more like someone who mugged you 5 days ago coming up to you and giving you $50.
Right.
And they probably, I think they stole like $500.
Sure.
But they're giving you $50 and you really don't know how to take it because like on paper, in a vacuum, they're
Someone
doing something
giving you
good.
$50 is good.
But when you look at the wider context, it's really hard to be appreciative.
It's single-minded Robin Hood. He steals from the rich, you,
Yes.
and then gives to the poor, which is now you, because he stole all your stuff.
Which is kind of like how Robin Hood would operate without
Cyclically,
context.
yeah.
Yeah, he'd sort of steal from you and then realize immediately afterwards that you're now poor and have to give you a little bit back.
Well, you just end up with like constantly alternating groups of rich and poor. You steal from the rich, you give to the poor. Now you have to steal from them to give back to the rich because they're now the poor.
I think we've created the new Ranger Danger endorsed like system of society that will replace capitalism once we've overthrown it.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that what I just explained is how the stock exchange works.
Yeah,
like I'm
probably.
not certain because I
you
think the
could
stock exchange is weird and dumb.
Apply that
but-
to a worldwide scale where for a week you have like, you know, a couple $100,000 and then you have to spend 3 weeks on like only $2 a week. So you go
Couldn't
through.
we just balance it all out? A
Nope.
little more? I'm worried what you've come up with is a less workable version of communism.
No,
where
I think it's a more workable
everyone
version.
has an average
Yeah.
of the same amount,
Which doesn't work. We figured that
but
out.
dispersed in very short spikes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Because then you get to live the life of a superstar, and then you have to live in abject poverty, so you really appreciate those superstar days.
I mean, look, here's the thing. That is definitely preferable to some people live the life of a superstar
Yep.
and some people permanently live a life of abject poverty.
Yes.
But I do feel like maybe there's some middle ground.
Nope.
Okay. All right, that's fine. Do you have a hot take on Hydra Captain America, Matt?
Yeah, my hot take is it's the first issue of a story
Yep.
by a proven great writer. So maybe call your Jets buds.
It's going to be time travel, guys. I'm calling it now.
It's not going to be time travel.
It is going to be time travel.
No.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
no.
The woman who is all like, hey, you should join Hydra has sin in her name. It's the Red Skull's daughter. She's time traveling. Hot take, Michael. Calling it now. 6 months from now, you guys are going to be like, hey, Michael was right. Or Michael was wrong and you'll have forgotten. So, you know.
I mean, Cap was recently restored to youth.
Yeah, by magic.
No, by the Cosmic Cube.
Yeah, magic.
Which was most recently in the possession of the Red Skull.
Yeah, magic. Time travel. I'm telling you.
I don't think it's time travel. I think it's just the Cosmic Cube was a little bit evil and made Captain America a little bit evil.
All right, well,
And because it's the Cosmic Cube, that doesn't mean just him. It means all of him throughout history. So I think he's just like...
Can you imagine if Captain America has always been a Hydra sleeper agent? He's
Yeah.
been the most useless Hydra sleeper agent. Like, there's gotta have been times where the Red Skull was about to take over the world and Captain America just managed to stop him.
Yep.
If you had that in your back pocket, you'd just be like, right, I'm done now.
Unless the Red Skull has played the world's most ambitious and specific long game, where every time he knew he was going to get beaten at the last second and was totally okay with that, but didn't let it on because he's like, 2016, this is really going to pay off.
I'm gonna throw Jack Flag out of plane and that'll teach him.
Yeah.
That's been his goal all along.
Can I just say too, we're acting like Jack Flag is dead, but he got pushed out of a plane. He's a superhero.
Okay, because that kind of sounds almost sociopathic when you say that. It's like, you're acting like he's dead, but I just shot him 6 times. He'll get better.
That's not quite what I meant, but I mean, like, superheroes have gotten out of much worse situations before.
Okay, there we go. That's Michael and Matt's hot takes. It's
Yep.
going to be our new separate
I
podcast.
kind of want it to be just a new segment.
Where we're just going to record 3 to 4 weeks out of date
Yep.
opinions on things that you've already formed opinions about. And
That's the best way to do it. I don't want to influence you. So you make up your own mind, and then we'll hit you with our
maybe we
opinion.
could call them warm takes.
Lukewarm takes.
If
Room
one of us-
temperature
If
takes.
one of us was called Luke, that'd be great.
That would be great.
We have to go watch Power Rangers now.
Ah, yeah.
I hope that they don't need no education, but we'll find out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And we'll be back in a
What
second.
are you referring to?
Oil prices.
Guys, Tim can't stick around, but I just wanted to get him in here to explain his joke.
Or to perform it live, first of all.
How's everyone doing? How you guys doing?
We're good.
We're good.
We've missed you on the podcast, Tim.
Yeah, I was thinking about it the other day. I've missed it too.
That's weird.
We'll try.
Why?
How is that weird? People like us, Matt. Remember? We've done this for nearly 3 years. It can't be weird that people enjoy it.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I never heard people enjoy being on it. I can understand listening to it, but being forced to watch Power Rangers is like, it's hard, man. I always think of it as like a sacrifice when I get to on the show.
Was this episode hard? How was it?
Not great. So, Tim, oil prices. You don't have long, so let's get this out of the way.
Mm.
Can you explain to our listeners that it's not actually a joke?
It doesn't
'Cause there's
need explaining. It's perfect.
There's no punchline.
It is the punch. It's only punchline. It's the most concise form of humour. There's no setup.
Well, I guess, like, percentage-wise, if you have a joke, the more punchline, the better.
Absolutely.
I would say.
No, it's
I don't
easy
know that
maths.
that's
It's
true.
like,
Think of the fluffy dog joke. The worst joke in existence is all set up for no punchline. Therefore, reverse engineering a joke that is all punchline and no setup is the best possible joke.
I believe that's just Newtonian physics.
No.
We're not rewriting the book here. It's all in there.
I don't like this. I don't like the two of you ganging up on me and being wrong.
I think we're ganging up. I think we're just evaluating the evidence.
Just two guys having a good time, and one guy having a worse time because he doesn't get it.
It's not a joke.
It is. It's only joke.
No.
Whatever you you can think whatever you can think, and our listeners will decide, guys. If you want to tweet with the hashtag oil prices, whether or not you think it's a good joke, that would be greatly appreciated. We'll prove Michael wrong.
Let's put it to the people. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd like to say that the last time we put things to the Twitter, which was, should Michael eat breakfast?
Yep.
We ended up pretty much 50-50.
We did. That's true.
Well, hashtag oil prices, and you guys can be the judge.
Yeah. I like that idea.
Okay, Tim, do you have to go now?
I have to go. Everyone have a lovely time with these guys, enjoying Another Brick in the Wall is the name of this episode.
That's the
I
one.
hear it was average.
It was average.
We'll get to that in a
So
sec. We will
you've got
try
that
and
to
have
look
you
forward
on
to.
again at some point in the future, Tim.
And Tim's out. And I'm back in front of the mic.
Okay. God almighty.
So that was. I'm glad we got that sorted.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to sort of get that one locked away for a bit.
Oh,
so-
good. I'm glad that you feel that way.
Yep. Another brick in the wall.
Yeah.
All in all, how did we feel?
You've never heard that song?
What song?
Okay, great. I mean, that was maybe the closest we've come in a long time to a standard episode of Power Rangers.
Yeah. But it also had some very weird aberrations to that formula that we'll get to, I guess,
The
as
bit
we
where
go.
Bulk and Skull arrested the mayor.
I mean, there's that, yeah. I think you mean the heavily teased New Gold Ranger. But we'll cover that.
I mean, that would be phenomenal. But, all right, let's go back to the top, yeah?
Yep.
All right, so Kat has got a model house.
Yes, she does.
And she brings it to Tommy and Adam, who are sparring. Okay, Matt, let me see if I've got this straight.
Yep.
There's an organisation in Angel Grove that gets volunteers and cheap materials
Yep.
and builds low-cost housing for the homeless.
Yes, that's correct so far.
Okay. The houses that those people build
Yep.
are designed by high schoolers.
Yeah, that's where this falls apart.
Yeah.
I think that seems like that's incredibly unsafe.
Yeah.
It's like you could get high schoolers in to help out with the manual labour.
Yep.
Having them do the very important architectural duties of creating a building that someone will have to live in and potentially die in because of a collapsing wall.
Yeah, I just don't trust a 16-year-old to know which walls are load-bearing.
No, that's the thing. That's not a low skill job.
And even if, like, an architecturalist... An
Architect, as they're sometimes called.
I kept going on that word a little further than I needed to.
No, I appreciate your commitment to it.
Even if an architect takes the model that's built by the high schooler
Yep.
and turns it into a house, why don't they have, like, the most efficient free house designed so that they can build a bunch more?
It does seem like they just wanted to get high school kids involved and did it in the worst way.
Yeah.
Housing problems these days.
Housing prices.
Housing.
It's not a joke.
But it kind of is.
No. Anyway, so on the moon,
Yep.
Goldar and Lord Zed have become anti-Rito buddies.
Yes. So they're just broing out in the background.
Yeah.
And I love this dynamic a lot. They're really cracking each other up. It's
Yeah.
kind of adorable.
At Rito's expense.
Yeah.
Because he's a moon army skeleton.
And that's the sort of thing that we can't stand.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. That's my least favourite kind of army skeleton.
Yep. Racist.
No. It's not like I said Chinese army skeletons. There's no moon people.
Yeah, they're on the moon.
No, that's not a thing.
They are, though.
No, there's no moon people, Matt. There's not people on the moon.
But there's Rita and Lord Zed.
That's fiction, Matt. Have you,
I understand.
Have you
but
thought for 2.5 years that we've been watching a weird documentary? Didn't you think it was weird that no one had mentioned this shit on the news?
Well, I mean, it's all pretty comprehensively covered in the documentary, so... No, I mean, like, you can be racist to a character.
Can you?
Yeah. if you've got like,
What if they're French?
No.
That's okay, right?
say you're writing comic books, right? And you've got like Shang-Chi, and then you're like, oh, you know what? I'm putting together a new Avengers team. I would put Shang-Chi on it, but I'm not going to because I hate Asian characters. Isn't that racist?
Yes.
Aha!
But
Lawyered.
I'm not going to roll back the tape to check if that holds up. Let's just move on. So, yeah, Kat is built, like, has got this actual team and appears to be in charge.
Very in charge.
Which also, like...
You know, that she's in charge of designing the building. She's also in charge of its construction.
It's not
that
like,
thing is not going to be built to code. I'm
it's
letting
not
you know
a
now.
shed. It's got brick walls. It's a house.
Yeah. Not that we ever see a house. We see a garden.
Yeah, well, a garden's an important part of a house.
It's the most important part of the house.
Yeah, if you don't have a garden, it's just a brick cube.
It's true.
So, Squat and Babu and Rito teleport down.
Yep.
But before we get to that, we've got a building montage.
Yeah.
They're cleaning graffiti off walls.
Yeah. Because homeless people are terrible with graffiti. They just keep graffitiing.
But
I don't know why they have the energy to do that, given they're so often starving.
why do the walls already exist long enough for there to be graffiti if they've only just started building the house?
I mean, I know the answer to that. Do you know the answer to that? The answer is that there's a brick monster that they had to use.
Okay. I was hoping for an in-universe explanation.
No.
It just doesn't hold up, does it?
No.
Another thing that doesn't hold
Much like
up...
the walls in this house.
I just want to skip ahead a bit.
Yep.
Billy takes the monster down. Mm-hmm. But every other part of the episode is a cat-centric episode.
Yes.
It's like they pick who's going to be the focus of the episode.
Yep.
And then watch the footage.
Yeah. Well, I think they wanted to give Kat her own episode, and were cognizant of the fact that she's never going to have a Zord battle of her own because she doesn't have a fucking Zord.
Yes, she does, Matt. She's co-pilot.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, it's she's as much the, like, president of the United States as Joe Biden is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Tommy dies, she gets his Zord.
Yes.
Otherwise,
She's a heartbeat away from the Zord.
Hey, it's much more likely that Tommy's going to die. He fights giant monsters all the time.
Than Barack Obama.
Yes.
I don't know, a lot of people hate that guy.
I mean, yes, but...
And no one dies on the show.
Oh, that's fair.
So...
Yeah, more people die in real life than die in Power Rangers.
So it's more likely that we'll have President Joe Biden than Kat will ever get to pilot that Zord.
Wouldn't it be good if Joe Biden and Kat piloted a Zord together?
Yeah, but who would be co-pilot?
They'd just both work together.
I see.
They'd hold hands in the middle and use their other hands.
Because they both know what it's like to be put in second place.
Yeah, be great.
To be the Luigi of the team.
You mean the Mario of the team? Luigi's clearly the one who's getting shit done. He's got a ghost vacuum business.
Yeah, in the ghost department.
Yeah.
That's true. It's a very, like, small niche of the Mario
What's
universe.
Mario doing? Jumping on animals and going to castles.
Yeah, he's only winning all of the Grand Prix and the tennis tournaments and the parties.
That universe is so weird.
Yeah, it is.
Sometimes Bowser kidnaps his girlfriend, and sometimes they play tennis together.
Well, look, you can't hold a grudge, Michael. That's going to erode your soul.
Can't you? I
You know-
feel like that's the sort of thing you could hold a grudge. Like, if you started throwing fireballs at me right now...
I think if someone kidnaps your girlfriend...
Yes.
And you get her back, the responsible, mature adult thing to do is report it to the police.
Yes,
And,
and then
let
go-karting.
and let the legal system take its course, and then try and just release that from your system. And then if that person happens to get early parole and wants to race you, that's fine. You've got to trust in the legal system. Which is obviously not trustworthy in the Mario universe.
That's obviously the moral not in the Mario universe.
Yeah.
Because Bowser never goes to jail.
That's why there's no Mario courtroom. Is because the legal system is very dodgy
Right.
in Mushroom Kingdom.
Well, it's because all of the monsters in the Mushroom Kingdom have been jumped on by Mario.
You've still got brain damage.
It's impossible for him to find anyone who isn't prejudiced against him already.
The judge is a Goomba that just has brain damage. He's just like, I allow it.
Oh, God.
I allow it.
Oh, I'm not
I allow
comfortable with
it.
the turn this took at all, and I have no idea how we got here.
Oh, that was terrible.
All right. So the building is done now.
Yep.
And everyone is leaving to go to the youth centre, except Kat's gonna. Well, are you okay? You all right, buddy?
Sorry.
Is this too far for
It
you?
got so weird. Whew, okay, I'm good.
Okay, you good?
Well,
So
back to action.
Everyone's going to the youth centre.
Yes.
Kat's sticking around to take some photos for her scrapbook.
Yes.
Did you have a scrapbook?
No, I don't think so. I think I had scrapbooks that were not utilised.
Right.
It was just never really in my... I'm not a journaler,
Right.
I guess. Were you ever a journaler of any sort?
Not really. I
Yeah.
don't like writing things down.
You like... Well, I mean, if it was a journal in spreadsheet form...
Oh,
would
that'd
you-
be okay.
I mean, you wouldn't want to leave some of those cells blank. You know what I mean?
That's just mean. Don't be mean.
Sorry.
Don't be mean, Matt.
That was a little mean.
Don't be mean.
Sorry.
Are you okay today?
Yeah. I think it's been a big week.
Okay.
And my brain is just a little...
All right. So now it's time for the Tengas to attack.
Yep.
They start tearing up flowers. They're just being real menaces.
The thing is, you say that sarcastically, but this is the most actual property damage
Yes.
Tengas have ever done.
100%.
And it's actually a little confronting to see them like ripping up flowers. As low stakes as that is.
Yep.
It's
It's
like
very low stakes.
it's like, oh, that's works that some people actually put in. And these flowers will die. That's messed up.
Okay. All right.
Did you get that feeling?
A little, but
It's like at the start of Spider-Man 3. I think we talked about this before. The action scene with his wedding ring.
yeah.
And how like there's not really anything at stake except for that wedding ring.
Yes.
And it's one of the most intense scenes in any of those Spider-Man movies.
Sure.
For me. And I can't quite put my finger on why. But I think like
Because you really like rings.
yes,
The
it
Lord
is.
of the Rings is just too much for you.
I am the Lord of the Rings is what I've always said. No, I think it's because you know Spider-Man's not actually going to die.
Yes.
But him losing his wedding ring and that screwing things up for him is possible.
Yep.
So in this scenario, like, Kat's not going to die.
Yes.
But all of her work being ruined and the housing commission thing not working out for her is possible.
Yep.
So that's actually a level of stakes that kind of works.
Yeah, sure. It could go just terribly for her.
Yeah.
And that would be like a real thing that could happen on this show.
That's right.
All right. So, look, the Tengas wake up Bulk and Skull, and Bulk and Skull run away. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess. And then look, Cat morphs. The other Rangers teleport in pretty quickly.
Yep.
They fight some Tengas.
Pretty good, like, fight technically.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel very inspired.
There's just nothing.
Nothing going on.
I mean, like all that construction equipment and shovels and
Yeah.
brooms and rakes and stuff.
They could have put a Tenga into one of those concrete machines, spun it round and round.
Or like a wheelbarrow.
Yep.
Lots of like prop
Could've
stuff that you could have.
Stabbed it through the heart with a rake.
That's okay.
No.
But he could have stepped on a rake and it come up and hit him in their face.
I guess that's the safer version of that.
Than being stabbed through the heart. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Because you could do that to a Tenga, right? They're actual creatures now.
Yeah.
You could, like, just straight up stab one. And not like a putty where it's just like stabbing clay. You'd get, like, Tenga blood on your spear. No. I can't tell what this face is.
It's shock, I think. There's a touch of horror.
I as much as that's a confronting way to ask the question, I'm
Yes.
curious.
Do you think you could get Tenga blood on a spear? Is the question you pitched me just then.
Yeah. But I mean, in a less confronting way, are Tengas actual creatures?
I guess.
Okay.
Who knows?
Well, we could grab a spear and find out.
Oh boy. All right. So Rita has this brief plan.
Yep.
That she's just gonna zap Cat and turn her evil again.
You say plan like, I think it's more of a brief inclination because it takes 2 seconds to play out.
If she can do that, why isn't she just constantly trying to do that? Wait till she falls asleep.
Well,
Wait till she's not paying attention.
I suspect that it's not something she can do all the time because what she's really doing is turning an object or a person evil.
Sure.
And I think that takes a lot of energy.
Right.
Otherwise, she'd be creating a million monsters all the time.
That's fair, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing misses Cat, but it does hit the brick wall.
Yep.
Matt, how do you feel about Brick Bully?
It's complicated. Based on what we see when we first see him,
Yep.
I was like, yes, awesome, all about the Brick Bully.
Yep.
Unfortunately, his one big gimmick is the same gimmick that like 5 monsters have had so far.
Yep.
And that's kind of lame.
Yeah.
So Mixed bag. But we'll get to that more, I guess, when we get to the creature feature. How about you? How did you feel?
Yeah, like you, I got less and less on board as the episode went on.
Yeah.
He kind of redeemed himself in that Megazord battle at the end.
Yeah.
But we'll get to all of that.
Yeah.
So, Brick Bully is a big rectangular slab of brick wall with an upside-down face on it.
Yep. And the word go on it.
Lots of graffiti, but obviously the word go.
His four brothers have the words... Like, there's another one that also has go, and another one that says go, another one that says go, and the last one just says Power Rangers on it. It's like a promotional...
Why do they say go 4 times?
Because it's go-go... Oh, no, there's only 2 in go-go Power Rangers. I didn't really count that one correctly.
You couldn't count to 2?
It's been a big week.
Okay. Oh, boy. So, Brick Bully has 2 powers. The first is that he can shoot explosive spheres.
Yep.
Which is...
Were they explosive spheres, or were they explosive bricks that were just, like, energized, like Gambit all the time?
It's hard to tell. They look like not brick-shaped, but
Okay.
neither do the bricks that we're about to see, really.
Yeah.
So, let's get to those.
Yep.
He shoots blue waves of energy.
Yes.
And if you get hit by one of them, you get turned into a brick.
Ah! Oh, no.
The brick is not actually the dimensions of any brick that I've ever seen.
No, it's weirdly low and flat.
Yeah.
You know, they are the shape that I've always imagined that gold bricks would be, but I have never seen one of those properly, so I don't know.
Really? Do you not think of a gold brick as, like, a brick shape?
No, to me, that's like what they look like in movies, but if they're in real life...
Right,
Because those would be
okay.
really hard to store.
Sure, because they're trapezoidal and they
Yeah.
don't stack. Yeah, okay.
Whereas if you want to get them all into a vault in a very clean way, you don't want any dead space in your vault.
I'm just Googling gold brick. Let's find out.
Yep.
I mean, all the pictures are that thing that they look like in movies.
Maybe it's just how they are.
Yeah.
Just a weird shape to make them to me.
Yeah, it definitely seems less effective than just making them rectangular prisms.
Yeah, I think, particularly because they're a form of money, and I just assumed that, like, accountants would always make things efficient.
Sure.
But
Maybe these were designed by a designer.
Fucking
Put some
designers.
beveled edges on it. Make it look real cool.
Those guys.
Yeah, what a
Sick of their
bunch of
shit.
assholes. No, these bricks are more like pavers almost.
Yeah.
And they are painted in the appropriate colour.
Yeah.
Because how else would you know which one was which?
This is a weird thing that the Power Rangers writing stuff. It's a weird well to return to all of the time.
A lot of the time.
Because I actually think this is the 5th or 6th time they've been turned into...
They were turned into beakers of coloured liquid.
Yep. Footballs.
Yeah. Yep.
That happened. They were turned into tattoos on a frog.
Yep, that's right.
I feel like there's been some more, but my memory's gone.
Yeah. Did Pachinko Head turn them into
Yeah,
something?
they were turned into balls by Pachinko Head.
Yeah.
So that's at least 4. So this is at least the 5th time they've just been turned into coloured objects. And every time the solution is take them to the command centre. And
Matt, no. This time the solution is a whole other thing.
that's true.
We
you're
will
right.
get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
So he gets Adam and Aisha and Tommy and Rocky.
Yep.
And luckily, Billy and Kat manage to grab those bricks and teleport back to the command center.
Mm-hmm.
But we're 4 Power Rangers down.
That's a problem.
Things don't look good.
Except it's not actually a problem. Spoiler warning.
No, we'll deal with that. So Alpha's going to run a diagnostic test, and he does in about 6 seconds. Turns out the Power Rangers weren't turned into bricks. They were miniaturized and encased in bricks.
Yes. It seems like a pretty nebulous distinction at this point.
I kind of like it. Like, it seems less unreasonable than just transforming them into bricks. Somehow.
Okay, sure.
Like, they were shrunken, they were carbonated.
Yeah, sure. Okay. And shrunk.
And shrunk. Yeah. Look, it's complicated. So, Matt, what could the answer be? We have to figure out how to get the Power Rangers out of the bricks.
Yep.
Without hurting the Power Rangers.
Ah, okay. Well, as much as we've been able to just transmute any object at any time before,
Yep.
this time we're going to have to look to architecture to help us solve our problems.
Yeah, well, we have to look at what normally dissolves bricks.
Yeah, what dissolves bricks normally?
Maybe erosion's the answer.
Ah, erosion. Okay, so what erodes things? Water?
Wind,
Yep. Sunlight, very slowly.
pollution.
What?
Matt, could Billy maybe create some sort of simulated pollution device?
He could, but why would that work? Why would pollution... Like, what part of pollution is eroding bricks?
I guess smog?
Is smog really eroding bricks?
Look, I'm not a brick scientist, Matt. Power Rangers definitely thinks it is.
It seems like the moral of this story is we need to reduce pollution for structural integrity reasons.
I'm fine with that moral.
I mean, yeah, I guess the ends justify the means, but I think the means are lying to children.
The means are very often lying to children, though.
That's true. Yeah. This episode's gotten really real.
It's just the way this conversation plays out is very clearly, look, here's what we can do. We can put him in a box with some smoke.
Yep.
So let's get to smoke box. How are we going to do that? Pollution.
Yeah, I got nothing. This show has a very weird relationship with pollution. Like, its weirdest side seems to be around pollution. Do you remember when they went to a park and there was some rubbish in the park?
Yeah, pollution.
And Billy took a soil sample.
Yep.
It was like, oh, this is really polluted. And they picked up some cardboard boxes. And then Billy took another soil sample. It was like, oh, the pollution is gone.
Yeah, that's how pollution works, Matt.
It makes me think that in the Power Rangers universe, pollution means a very different thing.
It just means rubbish.
I don't think it means rubbish. I think it means, like...
disorder.
Yeah, like bad energy, like bad vibes.
I mean, that's possible.
And when you've got rubbish around, it ruins the feng shui. You get bad vibes, and then pollution happens.
I don't know quite how that affects the soil, but...
Well, you don't want bad vibes in your soil.
That's true. That's how you get evil strawberries.
That's right.
I've always said that.
This is a weird episode.
Look, it's a weird episode of the show.
Yep.
Sometimes we've just got to go to the place that we go to.
Yep.
All right, so Billy goes down alone.
Yes.
Oh, before he does, the brick bully feeds on building materials, and that makes him more powerful.
Yeah.
So he gets a less rectangular form.
Yeah. That's kind of cool. I like the idea
that,
of a monster that changes its visuals as it gets more powerful.
Yeah.
Does it look more powerful necessarily?
No, it kind of looks less powerful because it's more
vulnerable
craggy and
and exposed.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
It looks a little more agile.
It's not hard to do when your previous form is just a rectangular prism.
Yep.
All right, so
Hang on, I've got another question about Brick Bully.
yeah,
On the front, he's a brick wall.
yeah,
What is he on the back?
fleshy.
Yeah. That's gross.
Yeah. You know what's disappointing?
Mm-hmm.
At no point in this episode does anyone say it's like punching a brick wall.
Yeah.
Like,
That's a missed opportunity.
especially when Billy is punching him and not having any effect. It just seems like it's just sitting right there.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. So basically, Billy tries to fight Brick Bully. Brick Bully's quite strong. Billy's not losing, but he's not winning either.
No.
So he runs away. But it's okay because he convinces Brick Bully to follow him.
By politely asking, essentially.
He really does just say, "Hey, follow me."
And Brick Bully's like, all right.
I got nothing to do.
Yep.
That's my job, I guess. So we get... Matt, why is Lieutenant Stone skeptical of the existence of monsters?
I don't know it this way. We talked about this a bit before. It's getting extreme. Because several times he's been directly involved in the monsters.
Yep.
And several times that's also been with Bulk and Skull around.
Yep.
So that the idea that Bulk and Skull were around some monsters shouldn't be something he's skeptical about.
No. Like, I guess if it kept happening, it would start sounding like an excuse.
Yes.
Like, if you went to high school, how many kids at Angel Grove High School do you think have used Rita turned my homework into a monster as an excuse?
Quite a few times. And only several of those times would have been right.
2 to 3 max.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it just seems like looking down, there's a perfectly rectangular section of the wall that's been removed.
Yes.
There's clearly debris from some sort of fight.
Yes.
I think you'd be comfortable going, when they say it's a monster, it probably was a monster.
I feel like Lieutenant Stone is not quite right in the head. And we've seen some textual evidence of that previously.
Yes, we definitely
So, yeah, I think that might be part of it.
Oh, boy. Okay, so Billy runs away.
Yep.
And he ultimately manages to hold Brick Bully off until Brick Bully starts to weaken.
Yes.
Because he hasn't eaten any food lately.
Yep. So, construction equipment is to Brick Bully what Sunlight is to Superman.
Yeah.
Or that Egyptian villain from Spider-Man.
Egyptian villain? I don't know who you mean.
The last pharaoh, the first pharaoh.
Definitely
One of the pharaohs in
definitely-
between.
Definitely a pharaoh of some description.
Yeah.
The penultimate pharaoh.
That may be it.
Are you thinking of the exact middle pharaoh?
Yeah, I think that's the median pharaoh. Is that right?
Yeah. Not the mode pharaoh. That's a different
No.
pharaoh. I have no idea who you're talking about. And that's rare for you to be talking about a Spider-Man bad guy.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing.
Okay. Needs sunlight or construction equipment?
Not, I think, sunlight.
Okay.
Yeah, he might have gotten his powers from Ra.
That would make
A certain amount of
a
sense.
certain amount of sense.
Yeah.
I was Googling the last pharaoh now.
Oh, the living pharaoh.
Oh, the living pharaoh sounds... Wait, won't they all live... Oh, I guess the still living pharaoh.
Yeah.
As opposed to... Yes, are you thinking the living monolith?
Yeah, he became the living monolith later. He was originally the living pharaoh, I think.
He was, that's true.
Look at that! Oh, deep cut Spider-Man knowledge.
Except he's an X-Men villain,
Oh, okay.
which is why I'm confused.
Well,
Oh, he has also fought Spider-Man.
There we go.
Okay, there we go.
No more shit, is the point.
Vaguely. The Last Pharaoh.
The Last
I quite like
Pharaoh.
The Last Pharaoh.
Yeah.
It's a good name.
Yeah, Tom Cruise could star in the movie. He would play the last pharaoh. The pharaohs would almost be gone, but they would teach him
How to be a pharaoh.
how to be a pharaoh.
Even though he's a white guy.
Yep, and then he would fight with them against the English people.
But then there still ended up not being any samurai, so he didn't really succeed that well, did he?
Well, the film wouldn't be called The Last Samurai if he had a school where he taught samurai.
That's true. If he'd won, it would have been called
Samurai.
They were nearly the last samurai, but then Tom Cruise turned it all around.
And really, do you want that to have been the story? That it took Tom Cruise to save the samurai?
I mean, it seems to take Tom Cruise to save the world quite a bit.
Yeah, but it's less racist in Mission Impossible where he just drops a bomb.
That's true.
So,
Colonialism.
yay.
No.
Oh, no.
No.
That's the wrong reaction, right?
No, bad, Matt. All right, so because Brick Bully has gotten weak,
Yeah.
Rita makes him grow.
Yep.
Sure, fine. So Billy's like, well, I guess I'm on my own in this. He summons his Shogun Zord. The Shogun Zords are just dudes, so...
Well, dudes with wolf faces in this instance.
Well, yeah, but they're all like individual
Yep.
fighting robots.
Yep.
So he fights Brick Bully.
Yeah. There's a cool moment where Brick Bully like materializes some walls around Billy Zord and then throws spears through the box.
Yeah, they're like rebar spheres.
Yeah, that's intense.
It is, but
Billy's
okay.
fine for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, it seems unlikely that it would hurt him no matter what.
Yeah.
Just because he's on the scale, he's so tiny.
He is so tiny. It's still pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I guess they like explode out of it or something.
Yeah. Just before this, though, there's a bit where Bulk and Skull see Billy in the monster
Yeah.
fighting. But I really liked when Rito pops up and then the Bulk and Skull ask like to each other, how did this happen? And then Rito just explains it to them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my sister did that.
What I really want to see in the show is just like frequently asked questions with Rito.
Right. Okay.
Where people just ask him questions about what goes on in the world of evil.
That would be a great thing to do over the closing credits.
Yeah. He just like, it's like his mailbag. He takes out a question, gives them the straight up earnest answer. No messing around. I like Rito. Yep. That's all I got.
Okay. All right. So, in the...
Oh, sorry. Also, that's all I got. I forgot that Bulk and Skull do A Few Good Men.
Oh, yeah.
That's a weird reference for a kids' show.
I don't know if I got the timeline right. Would that movie have come out around when this episode was...
Yeah, maybe like a year beforehand.
Like, it's a relatively topical reference?
Yes, for adults. Children would not understand what's going
Man,
on.
are you telling me that A Few Good Men wasn't the most popular children's film of 1994?
I mean, if it was, that would mean we would have had a generation of very literate young children.
Right, are you telling me that they couldn't handle the truth?
That's what I'm saying.
Tim, once that movie was on TV,
Yep.
and Tim decided, like, I don't really want to watch this, but I'll stick around until that scene.
Yep.
Not knowing that that's literally the last scene of the film.
Yes. Why would you not want to watch an Aaron Sorkin film?
Tim can't sit still for 2 hours to do anything.
Right. But it's Aaron Sorkin.
I mean,
He's a real good writer.
I understand.
Have you heard of that West Wing?
No, I've never heard of it.
It's real good.
What happens there?
No, well,
Is there another brick in the wall?
most of the things are to the west of the wing.
Right. Is it like a bird, but it's only half a bird?
Yep. It's dark. It's real dark. But at the end, they get the other wing and create the full bird. And everything's whole again. And then the bird walks down a corridor with another bird and they have a conversation while walking and talking. And that's the West Wing.
That's not the West Wing. The West Wing is very good, but that is not the West Wing.
I think you mean the West Wing is very good and that's not the West Wing.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. All right. So, look, Billy beats Brick Bully.
Yep.
It's weird. He has a spear
Yeah.
that he holds down pointing it at him.
Yep.
Runs up to him, then flips
Bops
his
him
spear
on the head
around
with
and
it.
bobs him with the blunt end.
Which, of course, that was going to happen. This is the Wolverine problem. You have Wolverine as a character in your kid's show, and his whole deal is he's got knives for hands, but he can never stab anyone because this is a kid's show. So he ends up just sort of punching people with his claws out. So what's Billy going to do with a spear?
It's just weird because after he does that, Brick Bully straight up just explodes into a shower of bricks.
Yes.
How would it have been worse if he'd stabbed him with the pointy end?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, as much as I say that would never happen on this show, we did have the Dragon Sword just drill a hole through monsters before.
Yep.
So it absolutely could have happened.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows? In the command center,
Yep.
they simulate the pollution.
Yes. What? So they're real bricks,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Why is simulating pollution going to have the same effect as real pollution?
I feel like simulating pollution just means we're not going to go down to the tip and grab some toxic waste. He's just grabbed the command center's output waste disposal system.
The Rangers are miniaturized.
Yes.
They still need to breathe, right?
No.
Isn't this like putting them in the garage and turning the car on and closing the doors?
Christ, Matt.
But isn't that what this is?
I mean, yes, but they're trapped inside magical bricks, so...
Yeah, but when they get out, won't they at least have some lung damage? Seems like a bad idea.
They
is what
don't
I'm saying.
appear to.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
I guess the text suggests otherwise.
everything is fine. Jesus Christ. Alright, so look, that's basically the end of the episode. We get, Cat is waiting now. Apparently they managed to fix all the damage that happened. We don't
Yes.
see that happen, so...
It looks fixed.
yeah, great. Cat's going to get a special recognition award from the mayor.
Yeah.
But the mayor hasn't shown up, Matt.
No, where
Which
could
is
she be?
weird, because the mayor said she'd come down early to check it out.
Oh, something must have held her up.
She's been arrested by Bulk and Skull.
Yes.
I think Skull gets a great line. He says, "We caught this well-dressed vagrant."
Yeah.
She's in a golden suit carrying a golden shovel. She's clearly an older lady.
Yes.
And the idea that would be just a nicely styled homeless person.
I would not be surprised to see a homeless person in a gold suit in some places in Sydney.
That's definitely true.
So, but she's so gold in so many different ways. It does look like she's going to become the Gold Ranger at some point.
Yeah.
In the same way that Kat has a pink construction hat in this episode.
How else would you remember which Power Ranger she was?
It's just strange choices all around.
So Cat gets the golden shovel.
Yep.
That's not a euphemism for anything. That's just a thing that actually happens.
No, I don't want to ask what that is. No,
Just
don't make hand motions.
Hit him with the... Okay.
No.
All right. That's the end of the episode.
That's it. It's so weird.
Over the credits, Bulk and Skull are sleeping. They've got their hats next to them. Cat swaps their hats for buckets of paint. She wakes them up. They put their hats on. Their hats are buckets of paint.
It's real mean.
It's the first time they've been covered in goop in so long.
Yeah, it is. It's been a refreshingly long amount of time.
I didn't miss it.
No. And also, it's just, they're junior police officers now.
Yeah.
They're not bullies. It would have been a mean thing to do even when they were bullies, but now it's just in bad taste, Cat.
Yeah.
You've disappointed me.
Boo.
Boo, Cat.
All right, Matt, what did we think of this episode? I don't know that it wasn't bad.
No.
Like, there was nothing other than a high schooler being allowed to design a house for the homeless.
Yeah.
There was no ridiculous jump of logic.
You're forgetting the pollution stuff.
I am a little forgetting the pollution.
But also, there's enough little different bits, like Billy solo fighting the monster at the end, that at least it's not boring completely. So I would say an Aisha.
I think this is an Aisha as well.
Cool.
Matt, how about Brick Bully?
This is a tough one. I love the design.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed his Megazord fight.
Yep.
But everything between his first appearance and his death...
He just, runs after people and turns them into bricks. He doesn't...
Such a played-out gimmick at this point.
Yeah. Middle of the pack, maybe?
Yeah, maybe, slightly above middle.
All right, well, let's look slightly above the middle. Is he better than Slippery Shark?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Because that was an original gimmick.
Yep, sure. Is he better than Fang, the slightly racist monster who wanted the Goonie Bird eggs?
Yeah, I think so. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. Is he better than Photomare?
I don't remember.
Yeah, we've reached the point on this list where asking us to remember all 100 monsters is just, I'm going to bring up Photomare. Oh god, Photomare was a Polaroid camera turned into a monster.
That sounds great.
I don't remember this at all.
No.
Did we?
I mean, I was looking at the design. I do feel like we've seen that, but I can't remember.
It's from Rangers Back in Time, where they didn't go back in time.
Right, okay, that's bad.
Yeah.
But that's a cool design. Oh, it's tough. Yeah, I feel like...
Photomare?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well, there's only 4 or 5 in between there.
Yep.
Genie. Better or worse than Genie? One of the earliest monsters.
I like there's a purity of intent with Genie.
Sure.
He had the cool wind-up spear.
Yep.
And he was a genie.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe not as good as Genie.
Okay, as good as Doomstone?
You mean Company President Greystone?
No, maybe I do. Hold on.
Doomstone.
Yes, Doomstone was Company President Gravestone.
No, that design's
on screen for 6 seconds.
But the design is too good.
Okay, well, immediately below Doomstone is Vampirus and the Hate Master.
I think above those guys. I think that's where it is.
Yeah, that's number 56.
Yeah, not so bad.
But not great.
Not great.
This list is getting quite long, Matt.
It is.
Oh, boy. All right. I guess that's the end of this episode.
That's it. No sword for the sword board?
No.
We haven't seen any new swords in a while. Seems like there's a period there we got a new sword every couple of weeks, and a sword board was a good idea at that point. But now...
It just languishes.
We look silly.
This has been a weird episode, guys. I'm sorry.
I'm not.
I'm a little sorry.
I think this was an entertaining one.
I hope so. Write in with a hashtag... What was the hashtag? Oil prices.
Oil prices,
hashtag
that's it.
Oil prices.
Yep.
If you think that's a joke or not.
Yep.
I don't even want to know if you think it's funny. I just want to know if you think it's a joke.
I mean, I'd be happy for that extra bit of information if you're willing to provide it.
Okay.
You'd probably get both into a tweet.
All right. We will be back next week
Yeah.
with a chimp in charge. Not of the podcast. That's the name of the episode.
Although, if that happened, you probably wouldn't notice the difference.
Certainly not to this episode that we've just done.
Okay, we'll see you then, guys. Have a good week, and we'll be back in your ears as soon as we can.
Oil prices, 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 oil prices,